All right, so upstate New York made some noise over the weekend. And I gotta say, I'm damn proud to see it, as that's where I'm originally from. Syracuse, the Orange. They landed a 5-star wide receiver in Calvin Russell, who hails from beautiful Miami, Florida. Calvin Russell selected the Orange over Oregon, Florida State, and Michigan. 3 very high profile programs. That speaks volumes about Syracuse and the direction it's heading in right now. Now, this story, it's interesting here because Calvin Russell never visited Syracuse in the month of June. He was making his rounds. He did, in fact, attend Syracuse's spring game back in April. He attended 1 or more games at Syracuse during the season last year, and he attended a football camp in central New York last summer. And so that's what introduced him to Syracuse, to central New York, and the Orange program led by Fran Brown. That's what made those impressions, but he never went out of his way to make a visit in June. Maybe that signifies that there was a calm confidence that he was going there all along. He just had to evaluate the others in comparison to Syracuse. The most fascinating and, quite frankly, hilarious detail about this story is that Calvin Russell teased to the general public that his final 3 that he was going to decide between on July 5th were Michigan, Florida State, and Oregon. Those very schools that Syracuse beat out. Nothing about Syracuse was ever mentioned. So he led the general public on to believing that those were the final 3, when it seems as if Calvin Russell and Fran Brown knew this entire time that he was going to Syracuse. There's a calm conference about it. They just wanted to collectively keep it under wraps. Absolutely savage and hilarious. And when this news broke on Saturday night, people were in disbelief. Jaw dropped. Shocked. How the hell does Syracuse, of all programs, land somebody with as high of a profile as Calvin Russell? Well, I'll lead y'all on to this. It happened. And it's not as surprising as we think, because I think that there's more of that where that came from, especially if Calvin Russell pans out in Syracuse. The decision of Calvin Russell to pick Syracuse over Oregon, Florida State, and Michigan is monumental for the program. It's going to be a selling point for years to come. Like I said, especially if Calvin Russell pans out, this is going to be a selling point. They're going to lure more and more blue chips into this program, into this facility. And it's also a testament to the program that Fran Brown is building brick by brick in central New York right now. Syracuse, they quietly had a 10-win season in 2024. A lot of people, including myself, forget about that. But they did. A 10-win season, including destroying Miami's college football playoff hopes on Thanksgiving weekend. It was a season to remember for Q's, and they're looking to build off of that right now. But I want to use that to explain why I think that Fran Brown is perfect for Syracuse. There's just certain head coaches out there that I like. Like they rub me the right way. They make that immediate lasting impression. One that comes off the top of my mind that I compare Fran Brown to is Dan Campbell. The minute I saw that introductory press conference where he's talking about biting kneecaps off, I was like, I fuck with this guy. And then I hear Fran Brown talking last year about how he doesn't shower if his team loses, if Syracuse loses. And I thought to myself, first and foremost, his poor wife, like, man, just take a shower. But number 2, this guy's a fucking freak. And honestly, I like it. Because that's the kind of energy, that's the kind of vibe that guys buy into. That's the kind of guy that players are going to run through a wall for. And it's that person, it's that coach, it's his presence that's going to lure guys like Calvin Russell and other blue chips into Syracuse, into northern New York. He's building a powerhouse right now. This is slowly becoming a trend because Syracuse has now landed multiple blue chips. Like, there's some talented guys coming into that building. And Fran Brown has been mercilessly attacking the state of Florida, which, as you all know, is a recruiting hotbed. And he's been finding success. And so, if Syracuse keeps on this trend right now, they build off the momentum of that 10-win season last year, and they build off the momentum of landing Calvin Russell, this could become a real powerhouse in the ACC. They could be right up there with your Clemsons, your SMUs, your Miamis. The ACC could be getting a little stronger than it's perceived to be if Syracuse makes this leap like I'm expecting them to. But man, Fran Brown is perfect for this program. The guy's an absolute freak of nature. And he's authentic. He's the genuine article. He gives Syracuse football a sense of direction. And that's exactly what that program needs right now. And outside of recruiting, look what Syracuse did in quote-unquote free agency this offseason. They landed Notre Dame quarterback Steve Angeli, another higher profile transfer quarterback, similar to what they had in Kyle McCord last year. There was a chance that Steve Angeli was going to win the Notre Dame job. He was in a fierce competition with C.J. Carr. Carr might have won it, but there was a chance that Steve Angeli was going to win that competition. Well, he went from potential Notre Dame quarterback to Syracuse quarterback now. Caps off to Fran Brown and his staff. This team, Syracuse, is trending in the right direction. Landing a 5-star recruit. One of their highest rated recruits in program history. And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get sweeter in Central New York. Let me know what y'all think of this news in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.